Hi, Biggest Loser. My name is AlexPlaxen. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Columbia, Maryland. I'm 5'10" and 340 pounds. Although the way I dress myself, most people don't know I weigh that much. They know I'm overweight, but not that much. So now I'll show you how I do that for myself. And while I'm doing this, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I have 5 siblings. I have a twin brother, a little brother, an older sister, and 2 stepsisters. So obviously I'm from a divorced home. My parents divorced when I was 14 years old. And I went to college in San Francisco. I studied production design for film. And I graduated this past May. I was out in LA for 3 months and I lost all my money because I couldn't find a job. And now I'm back home in Maryland, living with my mom and working for my dad at his law firm. So I'm a statistic, if you will. You know, one of the people who had to move home due to the recession. So tell you a little about my weight, I should really tell you about my relationship with my twin brother, because that's really where it starts. My twin brother and I were very close as children. And as we got older, probably around 7, 8 years old, we started to play competitive sports and Little League and stuff. And my twin brother was very good. He was the best on every team. And my dad loved him for that. My dad and him had a very strong bond over sports. And I was not athletic. So I always kind of felt like I disappointed my dad a little bit because I wasn't athletic. I didn't have that same connection with him. And because of that, I became very jealous of my twin brother. And because of how good he was. And it wasn't just that he was better than me, he was the best. And on every team that we played on, he was the best. And eventually, I just stopped playing altogether. I wasn't good. And I was overweight at that point too. If you look back, you can clearly tell. Basketball, I couldn't run across the court. It was really, really difficult for me. And as we got older, we're both pretty competitive, but he was competitive in sports, and I was competitive for attention. And I think one of the ways that I tried to get attention a lot of the time was by eating. And in fact, there's video of me at a pie eating contest, and I was doing awesome. So, that's what I was good at, and that's what my family cheered me on, and was a pie eating contest. So, that positive reinforcement there probably was not the best thing for me. One of the benefits of moving back here is that I'm able to see my twin brother on a much more regular basis, since he went to college and stayed in Maryland and I moved across the country. So I'm actually fortunate enough to be in his apartment today, and this is my twin brother.
Hi.
This is Josh. Our relationship had been really bad for a while in high school, and it really took a turning point a few years back when I was out in California and I got a call from him, and I'll let him tell you what that call was about.
Well, I called my brother because I had a dream the night before when my brother, he died because of a heart condition that was brought on by his weight, and it really, really upset me. And all I want now is for him to get healthy, and I'm hoping that the Biggest Loser can do that for him.
And that really hit me hard, and I'm glad that I got that call, but I haven't been able to make that change yet, and I don't want that dream to come true. So I'm ready to make that change, and hopefully the Biggest Loser can help me do that. So, ironically, the amount of weight that I need to lose right now is about 160 pounds. And that's how much he weighs. So I actually need to lose my twin brother. So come take a look in our fridge. We got diet juice and low fat this, and the diet juice is right next to the chunky blue cheese. And then we got the sour cream and more cheese, and all the way in the back, uneaten, are the light yogurts, which I should be eating. I actually like them, they're good. I typically don't snack at home though. I'm usually at work, and that's where I snack. I'll have candy, I'll buy a few bags of candy every day, and that's really where the snacking happens, not once I'm home. But I will go back for seconds and thirds on dinner and all that stuff, and the portions are pretty big. So, I mean, I know and I'm aware of what I do, but it's so ingrained in me, it's such a habit, that if it's in front of me, I'll eat it. So, I mentioned earlier about me and my sister and our relationship together, and how we were both overweight. And unfortunately, it was kind of one of the things that made us so close, I feel, because it was a commonality that we both struggled with. I mean, we were interested in similar things. We were both interested in drama and art and such. She wasn't athletic either, but when she was 20 years old, she found out she had a heart condition. And thankfully, she was motivated enough to lose weight. She was 100 pounds overweight at the time, and she lost the weight, and she's lost 80 pounds. This was about 5 years ago, so she's struggling with the last 20, and I'd really like to be able to motivate her to do it. Because when she lost the weight, she tried to motivate me, and I got really angry at her because I couldn't do it. I wasn't motivated. I didn't have a reason to lose the weight. And I tried. I did. I signed up for Weight Watchers. I did it for a while. I lost 40 pounds. I started out at 324. I got down to about 285. And that's probably the lightest I've been in a long time. And I hit a plateau, and I gained it all back, plus another 15 pounds. Like most 20-somethings who just graduated from college, I was forced to move home and work for my dad. My other job as a file clerk for my dad is filing. This is probably the most exercise that I get in the office. Big files like this, and having to do the dreaded bend over. It's not glamorous work, but it's work. When I was 14 years old, probably about 8 to 10 months after my parents divorced, I told my mom that I was gay. I love her. Thankfully, my family was extremely supportive. My mom, I remember when I told her, she laughed. She said, "Alex, I know. I've always known. You could tell by when you ran as a child, you were like this." And, I mean, it's funny. But she said, "I don't care. I just want grandchildren." And I said, all right, that's fair. I want children, so that I had no problem with that. And, one day I'd like to be able to give her grandchildren. I'd like to be able to run and play with them, and at the rate I'm going, I don't ever see that happening. I've been out of the closet now for 10 years. I've never been on a date. I've never had a boyfriend. I'm a virgin. I've never been kissed. I've never felt the touch of another person. I want that. I want to go to bed every night and hold the person that I love. And right now, I don't see it happening. If it didn't happen for 5 years in San Francisco, it sure as hell isn't going to happen in Columbia, Maryland. And I want it really badly.
Good job.